Hey, what's up? It's Chris from Brooker Films, and in today's video, I'm talking all about phone photography. So let's get into it. So pretty much all of us are now carrying one of these things around with us. The development of technology has meant that smartphones are more and more accessible, which means more of us are now carrying powerful stills and powerful video cameras around with us in our pockets. How do you get the most out of your phone camera, and how do you take amazing pictures on your smartphone? Now, before we get into the settings of your phone camera, there are a few rules that apply to all photographers regardless of what camera you're shooting on. Now, the first tip is composition. Learn how to correctly compose your images for more professional and more interesting photos. Use the rule of thirds, leading lines, and other compositional techniques to help to improve your photos. I made a video a short while ago explaining all of the different rules of composition and how you can use these to take better photos. If you want to know more about composition, then go and check that one out right now. Now load up the camera on your phone and turn on HDR. That stands for high dynamic range. Now with this setting on, your camera will take a few different variations of the same photo and stitch them together to make one photo. The resulting effect is that your shadows, your midtones, and your highlights are all correctly exposed. Now, as you can see from this example, HDR was turned off and you can see that the highlights are completely blown out. We'll turn on the HDR, we'll take the exact same photo, and look, the highlights are perfectly exposed and all of the detail from the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights are all correctly captured. Now, if you have a new smartphone, then you should be able to shoot in portrait mode. Portrait mode gives your camera a very similar look to a digital SLR camera at a low aperture. What this will do is it will focus on the subject in your foreground, but it will completely blur out the background. And this is typically seen as a more professional looking image. Now, when you're taking a photo, do not whatsoever use the zoom. Zooming in when you take a picture on your phone will ensure that you lose a load of quality. And this means that your image is going to look really ugly, really fuzzy, and really amateur. So if you wanted to zoom in, you can buy cheap camera lenses for your iPhone, and this will have a similar effect as a zoom lens for a digital SLR camera. Now, when you're taking your photo, be careful not to move the camera too much. Shaking the camera or moving the camera around a bit too much can cause blurring in your photo, and this again looks really ugly and really amateur. So keep your camera locked as still as you physically can, take your picture, and then move on. So now my last tip is to absolutely avoid filters. Do not use a filter when you're taking a picture. Instead, take the picture clear, drag that into an app like VSEO, and do some color grading there. You'll be able to capture much more vibrant colors, and you'll be able to manipulate the colors a lot more to make your image look more professional. Okay, so let me just do a quick demo grade on VSEO for you to see the power of this editing software. So here we have an image, and we're just going to apply a basic filter. Now, I like to use C8 as I feel like this represents my look. I like to edit all of my pictures using C8. So once I've applied the filter, I'm just going to go over to the second tab over here. I'm going to pull the exposure up a little bit. I'm going to add some contrast to this. Just going to slide across. And we're just going to boost the saturation up a little bit. There we go. I'm going to pull the highlights down a touch. There we go. I'm going to adjust the temperature and make this a little bit warmer. Then I'm just going to adjust the skin tone. Slightly change these to make them a little greener. Perfect. Now I'm just going to add a vignette. That's just going to black all of the corners. And I'm just going to add a little bit of grain. And then I'm going to go back over to the exposure, and I'm just going to pull this up another few stops. Perfect. And as you'll see, this was the before, and after a few edits, this is the after photo. And this is a much more effective way of color grading your images than using the built-in filter on your phone app or using Instagram's editor. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please do let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this one in the future. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really do truly appreciate it. I hope you're having the most amazing day today. I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. So pretty much all of us are now carrying one of these things. Oops. So pretty much all of us are now carrying one of these things around with us. I can't catch it.